I've noticed more and more people, whether it's on YouTube or X, talking about a super cycle and the fact that Bitcoin's going to go to like $500,000, maybe even $1 million at the final top of this cycle. Now, anything could happen. That's the truth. But in reality, looking at previous cycles, the likelihood is that we are literally at the last couple of weeks of this bull market if we're going to hold to a 4-year cycle, which that's kind of what I think that's going to happen. Now, I'm not just going to say this without backing it up with any data. I have lots of charts, lots of drawings, things that I've been watching and tracking that have actually helped me top the 2021 market pretty well. I'm going to talk about all that in today's video, but first, before we get there, what's up? My name is Aaron Dishner, and you are watching the Coin Bureau Trading channel. If you have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, like the video, take out something to write with so you can take notes along with me, and let's get into today's video. Now, the price of Bitcoin has been far from exuberant, I guess you could say. Ever since pushing up here, in early July, we saw 1 week with a 9% gain, but other than that, it's been pretty boring, which is really strange considering that even if we go back to the previous cycle when things were really ripping, I mean, week over week over week, just green candles, absolutely incredible. This is what we've all been waiting for and expecting, where in reality, all this stuff doesn't really happen until the end of the year. Now, it also does matter about timing, but we're not going to talk about price action. But as far as expectations are concerned, a lot of people think that this is where we should be, or a lot of people think that this is what should be happening with Bitcoin. But of course, in reality, what really is happening is this, and it's really weak sauce. So does this mean that we're going to see an explosive, crazy move to the top side? I think it's possible, but I don't think it's the target that everyone is really expecting. Now, we have to first back up to start talking about a couple of things. For one, let's just use some halving dates. If we look at previous halvings, starting back over here, the first halving in 2012, November 28th, we can see that it took about 52 bars or a year until the until the market topped out here, November 2013. What's interesting is that if we measure out over here, that Bitcoin halving number 2 in July 2016, this cycle was a super cycle. Not only did it take 74 weeks for Bitcoin to top out in December 2017, but it lasted a lot longer than the previous cycle. So looking ahead at Bitcoin halving number 3 in May 2020, this cycle also took a lot longer to top out, finally topping out after 78 bars. So looking at these past ones, we see 52 bars until the all-time high, 74 bars, 78 bars. So things look like it's taking a little bit longer for the halving date until the all-time high. While the 52 bars happened when Bitcoin is very immature, as it started to mature, we're seeing that it takes way more time. So if we start applying some of these date ranges, it gives us an idea of where we are right now. So if we take the very first halving that took 52 weeks, well, we've long passed that date because that date was back over here in April 2025. And we all know that Bitcoin has since gone up a lot higher than 80K. If we're going off of the 2017 high, which took 74 bars, this one shows us topping out in September. The middle of September would be a very odd time to top out, but that's what the measurements are saying. And then the previous one, this actually took 78 bars, which gives us a plot here of the second week of October. Now, it's not enough just to go, okay, well, that's it. That makes sense. It's probably going to be that time. But as far as Bitcoin moving along in this cycle, in this bull market, even though this bull market has been far from satisfying, in my opinion, the reality is that we are very near to the end. I mean, just looking at this marker right here, and then this one right here, this is insane because looking at the current week, this means that the first marker is basically just 4 weeks away. And the next one is about, 8 weeks away. So we are literally nearing the end. Now, again, I am happy to admit, yes, these last two cycles took a little bit longer. So maybe this next one might not take 78 bars. Maybe it might take 82. Okay, cool. So if it takes like a little bit longer, because 74, 48, 82, sure. That puts us over here in November. But we don't really have that data to say, oh yeah, it's definitely going to happen then. But it is interesting. So I'm going to just kind of put this away for a second. We'll review it in a minute. Another thing that we can do, again, this does not require indicators at all. It just requires knowing some dates of when things happen and also some measurements. We can also assess the market low to the new all-time high. So let's go back over here. The first market low, and I'm counting market low as in the first real blow-off top back over here in 2013. If we look at our low here, January 2015 to our high here in December 2017, it took about 152 weeks for Bitcoin to complete a drop to the top cycle. If we do the same thing over here, what's really wild is that Bitcoin bottomed out here in December 2018, and it took 152 weeks for it to top out in November 2021. So it's weird, for one, that it's literally the same amount of time until the market topped out. Doing the same thing back over here, Bitcoin's lowest low was the week of November 21st, 2022. 152 bars plots us out here at October 20th. So again, from the current date till then is about 9 weeks, which is a little bit scary. If we bring back the halving dates, this actually lines up really well with this idea of 78 bars, which is literally just 1 week away. So that would put us here. So end of October could be a blow-off top for BTC. But there are actually more measurements that I want to share with you, as well as some other things that we need to pay attention to. But before we get to that, in the description, there are some links you just have to check out. If you guys love these videos and you've already subscribed, another way that you can support our YouTube channel is by sharing videos, which is awesome, liking videos, which is great, but also clicking on these links, which gives us a kickback. And also, these are great deals that Coin Bureau has negotiated on your behalf. Femex is a great exchange that has lots of capabilities for signal bots. I made a video about that on my YouTube channel. You can get the link for that down in the description somewhere here. But there is a great discount that you can earn to trade, or rather, you can trade to earn bonuses by using the link that's provided. There's also 2bit and CoinCatch. Both of these are non-KYC requiring exchanges, meaning that you can use these legally in North America, in the US or Canada. 2bit has a very generous welcome bonus of $30,100 in exclusive benefits. CoinCatch as well, you can get a lot of cash back from them. There are actually more deals on the Coin Bureau website. Go here, click on deals. The first thing to check out is the Coin Bureau Club. It's a private Discord server where my co-host Dan is posting a lot of alpha, as well as Guy and Nick from the main channel. There are other exchanges, other tools, other services to sign up for, as well as a 10% discount for our course, 50 Minutes to Financial Freedom from the Better Traders, which teaches you everything you need to know about conquering both bull and bear markets, giving you ideas for your exit strategy, how to buy the dip and sell the bounce, trend trading, DCA bot trading, all that fun stuff. So this concept that I'm sharing right now in today's video, it's covered a bit in this course as well, just so you know. Now, I need to go back over here because we're going to look at something else. Again, just to refresh, we've talked about the coincidence between halving dates to the all-time high, where previous halving dates have given us, basically it's growing, right? So we got 52, 74, 78. We've also just talked about a market low to new all-time highs, which again, it's kind of eerie that this, if we see it top out 152 bars, is nearing the end of October. But what about all-time high to all-time high? All right, I'm going to go ahead and hide this for a quick second. We're going to go back over here to 2013. So yes, even just measuring the distance from our all-time high to the next all-time high can help us get an idea of how much more time we have left in this bull market. So from 2013 to 2017, again, notice for years, it was 211 bars, and it actually took 169 bars until the price of Bitcoin retraced back to the previous all-time high. And this last move was very short-lived. That's usually how the last part of the market is. If we had to use a percentage, this is like the last, I would say 20% of this entire expanse, maybe even less. If we go back over here, we can see it took 204 bars from our all-time high in 2017 to 2021. And again, looking at basically our retrace back to the all-time high until the market actually topped out, that's again like 20% of the entire amount of time. So where are we now? Well, if we look at a couple of things, for one, this cycle has been very strange because it only took us 121 bars to fully retrace back up to our previous all-time high at 69K. Whereas in previous cycles, it took 169 bars, 157 bars. This market got started really early. One other thing to note is that the previous cycle, 2017 to 2021, 204 bars, plots it here, first week of October 2025. And then it also, the first one, 2013 to 2017, plots it over here in the end of November. So you can see my hesitance as we start to look at these dates that are just starting to really line up. I mean, we're seeing not just all-time high measurements, we're also seeing length of time measured from previous markets, whether it's the halving, whether it's the all-time low to the all-time high. And when we look at all those things together, we can identify and clearly see that basically this range right in here is basically our window. We're looking at a range from as early as the second week of September all the way until maybe the end of November. And again, just a friendly reminder from our current week, we're looking at as soon as 4 weeks to as late as another 14 bars, or there's another basically 3 months left. I'm personally of the belief that it's going to take a little bit longer. I think that it's more likely for Bitcoin to top out closer to November, but that's my personal expectation. But again, if you guys think, well, no, like there's no way, like we should go a lot higher, like trust me, I think that we should too. I personally believe that we should be going up here to like $173,000. It's my personal prediction. But you know what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to be sitting going, well, it has to happen. That's my prediction. It's going to hit that level. I will not take no for an answer. Guys, the market doesn't care what I think. I'm making my best guess at what I think should happen. The main thing we have to understand is that every single bull market has seen diminishing returns as far as the low to the high. That's an easy thing to measure as well. And this will help you understand how to distinguish from the noise that we get all the time on YouTube and also on X. So looking at our low to our high from, I have to get that right pinpointed out. Come on. There we go. So 2015 to 2017, that's a 12,800% increase. That is huge. Looking at our low here, 2018 to our 2021 high, it doesn't quite, it's 2,100% increase. Absolute low to the absolute high. So diminishing returns are obviously at play. Now we clearly know that our low is set back over here in November. Let me go ahead and just get the scale set correctly so I pinpoint the absolute bottom. There we go. Let's zoom out. So just consider the fact that currently with our all-time high at $124,517, Bitcoin is up 700% from there. So in terms of diminishing returns, this is actually pretty much spot on, in my opinion. Could it go up higher? I mean, if it goes up to 173K, which is my target, that's going up like another several 100% for a total like 11x, I guess. But again, knowing that we're seeing diminishing returns year over year over year, I mean, I'm not saying that we've topped out here, but I am saying that we're getting close to an acceptable price level that Bitcoin could be topping out. One other thing to consider as well, and this is my own device. I know that there are lots of other rainbow charts and stuff like that, but if we just take a measurement with a curved line like this, showing our low to our highs, It's really interesting to note how well, even just doing this is literally just hand drawn. If you couldn't tell, I did this in Microsoft Paint, obviously. We have our super duper low value. We see the price of Bitcoin going down to pretty low levels after being really overbought in this red zone. And we've been comfortably hanging out here up in like orange. If you think about the entire spectrum, this is where things are almost on the sun. This is up here on the sun. So again, this isn't perfect. This is going off of this curve, but again, you can see diminishing returns at play for this measurement. So I'm looking at this going, well, I know a lot of people, including myself, I'd love to see Bitcoin just rage up here to $500,000. I've seen some accounts just stubbornly say, well, I'm not selling until we see $500,000. Well, cool. I mean, that could happen in a couple of years, but this year, no. I don't really see that happening. If anything, looking at so much of this information based off of our halving dates, market low to new all-time high to all-time high, to me, we're literally in the last leg of this race, ladies and gentlemen. So you can understand my excitement for alt season, which I know is going to happen because as soon as Bitcoin has its blow off top, we will see alt rise. We should at least. And especially, it's very common to see Bitcoin top out towards the end of the year. I didn't even have that on here, but we all know that Bitcoin topped out in November 2021. And then before that, it was December 2017. Before that, it was November 2013. 2013, 2017, 2021, 2025. I mean, I know a lot of people really don't want the 4-year cycle to be true because they want to see Bitcoin go up higher. I get it, but let's be realistic. I don't think it's really going to happen. Now, here's the one thing that you've got to pay attention to. This trend line right here, from our March 2020 low, our COVID crash, to the low that we saw in November 2022 is giving us a very good line of support. Now, a lot of people are asking, how much lower could Bitcoin go? Now, I have to save something for another video. I'm not going to do that in this one, which is why you have to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications. That's going to be an upcoming video. But the main thing to keep in mind right now is that as Bitcoin is here, even this would be a terrifying pullback of 40%, but there is immediate support right now at 65K. Once this level, though, is broken for support, there will be a violent reaction for price. Just like we saw at this level right here get violently destroyed. This support level right here, as soon as it got broken, Bitcoin crashed big time right here. Absolutely lost it. Fell fast, fell quick. It was rough. Now, knowing that we are looking at the end of this bull market, we do need to start considering the fact that we need to protect profit. We need to stick to our trading plan, even if it means taking some profits. We need to understand that there are no guarantees in this market. We could see Bitcoin go up to $500,000. It's true. It's possible. Anything is literally possible. But given the fact that the last 2 cycles topped out roughly about the end of the year, this year actually, is going to be a very big weight on my mind for the next couple of weeks. And it should be for you too. It's a really great reminder that you need to protect profit at all costs. Again, something we teach at our courses is the Better Traders. So I know this is not the yay, sis boom ba video you're really hoping for. And while we still do have several weeks left of this bull market, I am very skeptical about Bitcoin really popping and pumping, even to my target of $173,000. So I want you to take a minute, take a deep breath, look at the charts, decide for yourself. If you need to revise where you want to take profit, again, remembering that we're already up like 8x from the low in November, especially if you've been a long-time holder of BTC buying at 20K like I did, you might want to consider and revise your trading strategy, your trading plan, and also just pay attention. The last thing I want to give you is that when everyone starts to bull post saying Bitcoin's going to $1 million, supercycle, we're never going down again, we're never going blah, 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 that's a sell signal. Just so you know, when everyone is unanimously cheering and chanting together that it's never, ever going to get bad again, this is amazing, and people are posting P&L screenshots and I'm a genius, I just made $1 million on this trade, or I just went 100x on this trade and made $500,000, like James Wynn actually starts making profit, that's a top signal. God bless the man. He's really trying, isn't he? I want you to watch this video next. It's going to give you an idea of how to buy the dip, because I still think that we're going to see lots of dips as we rip up higher towards my target of 173K, even if we don't hit it. Watch this video next, and until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.